Hey everyone. Okay everyone. I have a 2003 Honda CR-V. I am changing out the transmission motor mount, which is right here. I already got a new one in, but I'm gonna show you why I'm doing it and the reason. I ordered this motor mount from eBay. It cost me 50 bucks. If you go to AutoZone and buy one, it's gonna cost you more for each individual motor mount. The motor mounts on this Honda CR-V, there are four of them. One in the front, two on the side, that side, this side, and then one on the rear of the transmission. Well, the reason why I'm doing it is because every time I put the car in drive, I have a real hard vibration, engine vibrate. And I already changed the front motor mount, it still have vibration. So I decided I'm going to change all the motor mounts. So I started with the rear of the transmission since I already did the one in the front. And I'm going to show you the motor mounts I got. Okay, this one is the one for the front. I ordered the one from the for the front just by itself. It's about 20 bucks. I thought the front one was bad, but that didn't fix the problem, so I decided to just go ahead and order all four of them. So this one right here is for the side right down there. You can't see it from here, but if you go underneath the car and you take the plastic shield off, you can see it underneath there. And then you have this one right here, which is located over here, right there on the other side toward the firewall. I'm gonna change all four, even if I change this one and fix the vibration. Since the car is so old, I'm gonna go ahead and do all four of them. So the reason I found out part of the vibration is the one for the back of the transmission. Well, you can see, I can show you real. See, it's all cracked up right there. That's cracked, so you can see the crack. Look at that. I can move this back, and I bet you that's probably where the vibration is from. Don't think it's your ignition coil or your spark plug. If the car is running smoothly in neutral or in park, is 9 times out of 10 it's going to be because your motor mount is worn out, so it doesn't hold the engine steady, and when you put it in drive, it make real bad vibration, especially when you stop at stoplight. Reverse is not bad, but when I turn the AC on, you can feel it also. It vibrates really bad. You can feel it in the steering wheel. But yeah, this one, it's no good. As you can see, the bushings are cracked up. But yeah, you can order all four of them on eBay for 50 bucks. You go to AutoZone or any auto parts store, they're gonna charge you quite a few dollars for each individual motor mount. But okay, I'm gonna show you what I did. Okay, so make sure before you take anything out, use a jack and a 2x4, put it underneath the transmission, jack it up a little bit, not much, just get the tension off. And then you have to take the air box off. The air box is held in by 8mm. The top cover is held in by 8mm, so take that off. And then the bottom, it's held in by all these three 10mm bolts right here. It's one, and then you got a little, and then you got a nut right there. Take that off. And what I did, I went ahead and take the intake tube off that goes to the air box, and then you also got the intake tube rubber at the bottom. Just take it off. What I did is I just loosened the two 10mm bolts here, so that way I don't have any issue when I put the box back in. And make sure this rubber hose right here that goes into the air box is not torn, not ripped. Mine was torn at the bottom, and what I did, instead of go ahead and buying a new one, I used electrical tape, and I taped around it to cover all the cut that I had at the bottom. Also, I used super glue to glue it, and then I used the electrical tape. It works good. You don't need to buy a new one. If you can repair it, you don't need to buy a new one. But make sure this hose go back into your air box, the bottom part of your air box. If this doesn't go in, then your car's gonna run like crap, and it's probably gonna stall and shut off on you. But anyway, okay, so you have a, let me get light out here. So you have 17mm nut, then you got a bolt right there, then you got another nut right there. All this uses 17mm. Then you got one there for the motor mount, and then you got one right down there, right there, and you got one on the other side. I can't really see it, but let me put the light. It's over here, 17mm. I used the long extension and a 17mm deep well socket. This is a 3/8 drive. You can use a 1/2" drive, whatever you have, it will work. But if it's too tight, then you would want to use a 1/2" drive. Or if you use 3/8 drive, then use a cheater pipe that goes at the end, break it loose. And then you also have this 17mm bolt that go through the motor mount and the bracket here. Well, you don't need to take this out, because if you take this all the way out, it's going to hit the battery tray, and then you got to remove the battery. But you don't need to do that. All you got to do is just take this housing off, loosen this a little bit till you can turn it by hand. So when you take the whole thing off, then you can take it off by hand. So I seen a video that the guy took the battery tray off, but you don't have to. That's just extra work. You don't need to. Once you take all this bolts off, all this bolts off, and all this bolts off, or nut bolts and nut, and then take all three of the motor mount bolts off, one here, one here, and one there. You can remove the whole thing out of the way, so you don't have to take the battery tray, disconnect the battery, and anything. And it's easy to get to. It's not hard to do. It's to me, it's simple because I'm a mechanic. So if you're not a mechanic, I'm sure you can do it, but just be careful. Especially don't touch the positive with your ratchet or anything, because you will spark. So just be careful with that. And I got the new one on, so I'm gonna tie everything down, and I'm gonna do the that side, that one right there, and the one down here, because this is 2003, so I might as well just change all four of them. I already did the front. The front was simple to do. If you can do the front, just support the oil pan with a jack and 2x4. So I hope this helped. Like I say, if you have vibration in the engine and you can feel it inside the car and the steering wheel, it's not because your car is misfiring, because you would have a check engine light. So just change the motor mount. Just should solve the problem. 9 times out of 10 it will.